Gentlemen, we have called you together to inform you that we are going to overthrow the United States government. You still think that jet fuel brought down the World Trade Center? Does anybody else see a problem here? If the government has nothing to hide, why are they so afraid to answer a few questions? This story does not add up.
I'm on a mission to never forget 3,000 people that I've never met. We want some answers and all that we get. Some kind of shit about a terrorist threat. Surprise, surprise. To dig up the truth. You think we're stupid and there's no proof. But let me tell you that the time has come to pull the trigger on this smoking gun. Surprise, surprise.
America has been hijacked, not by Al-Qaeda, not by Bin Laden, but by a group of tyrants. That should be of great concern to all Americans.
I'm on a mission to bring out the facts. You got your stories, but they all have cracks. Misinformation, lies and deceit. What made you think that we were on the street? Surprise, surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here, joining you from the road. I'm about to hand the baton to Aaron Dykes for the rest of the hour. Then I'll be riding shotgun with you again for the entire next hour via the telephone with Aaron Dykes there in studio. And we have Patrick Henningsen also joining us on geopolitical and economic developments. Now, when I get on next hour, I have, over the weekend, literally read hundreds of articles because as I began to research this, I realized how close we are to the global financial implosion and the rollout of the cashless society. And I wanted to break down for people what this cashless society means. But I have confirmed, and I've seen tons of reports where people are not being allowed to get their money out of major banks, even $5,000, $6,000. Almost everyone's being refused if they want $10,000. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in the bank or $10,000; they won't give it to you. They're trying to give it to you as checks and things, as if you can do something with that. To only deposit it in another bank. And under this cashless society, they can't just track everything. They can also manipulate the economy by having all this data. And they can also put fines and fees on every action you engage in and every financial transaction. And I've warned you forever, that's all coming. And for the first time in my 16, almost 17 years on air, maybe Wayne Madsen can speak to this. I know he's an expert on the whole wireless banking system. It looks like they may go ahead and try to engineer some type of run on banks and then phase in the new cashless society because they got billboards up demonizing cash. They're passing laws you can't use cash, secondhand sales, places like Louisiana, and they've got it in other legislatures around the country. This is big. There is no doubt that our republic is falling right now. And that means your bank accounts, your liberty, your freedom, your freedom of mobility, it's all being butchered. Time Magazine, Newsweek, Washington Post are writing endless articles about the Constitution being bad and evil. Mainstream newspapers across the U.S. and England actually heralded a debate that they had last week where they said the Declaration of Independence was terrorist and evil, and that inherently we do not have a right to say that a government isn't over us. They're actually teaching tyranny now, that government is God, and fundamentally no one has a right to rebel. And the BBC ran the headline, "Is the Constitution illegal?" And then it had a serious discussion and tried to discredit the idea of natural law. Now, under their system, they're saying that if a black person is chained up in your backyard 180 years ago and is a slave because you have the power of the gun and you say that you have the power of government, that might makes right, and so that person is not a human and has to pull a plow for you. It actually says there is no natural rights. Government is God. The Queen of England is God. I know Aaron has the article. And that they have a right as a sovereign, and our founding fathers were bad. And they came to the U.S. and had a debate about this and sold this idea, even though in England they had overthrown the power of the monarch many times. I mean, this is just so asinine. And when you go across this country, you see these little children with their parents being inducted, being groped, being microwaved, ovened, being questioned by the TSA. And the whole idea is you're being taught that you're bad. You're being taught you're a prisoner. In a free society, no one has run-ins with police. No one gets interrogated. Every tyranny always has these quasi-fake police. These minders, these commissars that are part of the whole apparatchik. That's what they're doing. This is absolute textbook. Like a duck in your backyard, if you've got a pond and the duck's out there, it's a duck. This is a tyranny. This is 100% diabolical, transpartisan. The entire government structure is now absolute scientific dog training evil, phasing out cash, bringing in a total system of control where they can tax, regulate, control, abuse the living daylights out of you. As Aaron mentioned earlier, the military admits since 2008 they're training for martial law, total financial collapse. I told you that years ago. I went to urban warfare drills and witnessed this 12 years ago. They've been getting ready for this worldwide. So has the British government. So have other governments. Even the London Telegraph said the EU dictatorship plan revealed during the collapse and the takeover. I mean, Von Rupe admits this is hailing it as the birth of world government run by private banks that literally financially rape you 7 ways to Sunday. And then Aaron was mentioning to me an Atlantic article, and I pulled it up here, and it's like, how dare the American people give attitude to the new domestic checkpoints TSA is going to set up on the highways and search your car for your safety. It's a privilege to drive. It's a privilege, and we're going to search you at shopping malls and sports stadiums and everywhere. Well, I guess you can say it's a privilege on private property to go to a football game. The problem is they always have government backing and funding to build the stadium, so courts have ruled they can't really do what they're doing. Folks aren't even aware of that little wrinkle there. But the point is that you have these modern public commons where they're getting rid of the Bill of Rights and saying they're going to grope people now and have X-ray machines. And this is the new industry for America. This is the military-industrial complex absorbing and taking over our republic. Okay, and again, this is Alex Jones from Las Vegas here with Jesse Ventura shooting episodes of his TV show. And so I'm here via phone. I should have brought a Skype system. Aaron Dykes is the main host there in the studio in Austin, Texas. And we're breaking this down. Ladies and gentlemen, it is known in every society that internal checkpoints are the hallmark of a tyranny. Now, it's been ruled hundreds and hundreds of times federal, thousands of times at the state level, that warrantless checkpoints are illegal. And now, as we told you they would, the TSA is starting checkpoints all over the country. And what does the, quote, liberal Atlantic Monthly come out and say? Oh, it's wonderful. Hey, let's get used to it. Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes said we should get a microchip under our skin to prove we're good so we can go to a football game. And let me tell you something. These zombies that only care about football, they do it. We are living in a dystopic nightmare system, and it's fixing to get 100 times worse, and that's not a figure of speech. Everything we've seen is only the preparatory phase of the dominoes being set up. Now, a lot of us foresaw this, so we warned people, and that's why we've got a chance here. But if you're not getting chills right now, folks, we're not just going into some corrupt system. This is a scientific murder machine that openly states once world government is established, it is going to start soft-killing people even faster. The cancer is tripled. The diabetes is doubling and tripling. All these new diseases are exploding. Diseases of the gut are exploding. Deformities are exploding. We know in all the studies the GMO transgenic systems within 3 generations render an end of days children of men in fertile deformity in 99% of the rats and guinea pigs. Mayday, mayday, emergency global transmission. Break out of your trance now. You are being incrementally murdered by the globalists. Their control grid is going into place. I am here in Las Vegas. Almost everything is cashless. They've got virtual dealers that I've shot video of. They make you give ID when you pay for cash for eggs, for a buffet, for pancakes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in an emergency. They are passing laws all over the world, and including Louisiana. Other states have it introduced to not let you use cash in secondhand transactions because you're guilty until proven innocent. The total system is upon you. Whether you're a cop or a military or a bureaucrat, you are under attack as well. You are under high-tech mind control. You're under chemical attack in the food and water, biological attack in the food. You are with us, the people. You are being killed as well. I looked at those TSA guys in Austin. The last thing I said, you know the body scanners are coming here. You know those things fry you. And they laughed. The guy laughed. It's funny. He thinks if he laughs, it doesn't matter if they have a 7+-fold increase in cancers at Boston Logan because they've had the scanners for 8 years. He thinks if he laughs, it defeats me. It is a delusional, insane, out-of-control view. 20 years ago, they wouldn't let the troops use depleted uranium. They wouldn't let the troops use depleted uranium in combat because they knew it was a blowback soft-kill weapon where it ignited, even if it was a small round or a large, and that you would breathe it, and that it would reduce your life expectancy by decades. They don't care now. Now they just use it. Each psychopaths are running things. I've analyzed the globalists. They are destroying their own future and their own system. They're into death.